Hello and welcome back. If you are back, there might be people watching who've never seen it before. This isn't my forte. This is I'd Watch That. I'm Ash Frith. So if you've not seen it before, what happens is me, Ash Frith, and a guest use a randomizer and we randomise the top 100 films from the IMDb movie database into their individual words. We press a button and then it spits out a random film, and then the guest tells me what they think that film would be about. I will try to read the chat as we go along, get involved in the chat, but anyone who's seen it before will know that I have what I think might be a mental illness when it comes to reading chat. I can't read names, and I will just jump in on other people's conversations. If they're having a chat in the conversation, in the chat, if they have a conversation in the chat, then I will just sometimes just jump halfway in. So apologies if that happens, but that's what you're going to get. And some people love it. Some people think there's the charm to it and like it's some sort of affectation that I'm putting on. It's not. I'm shit. We've got Sam in the chat already. Hello, Sam. Anatomical Bomb says evening. Anatomical Bomb is in charge tonight. He is the person that will be stopping Sam saying disgusting things, because for some reason that's Sam's kind of thing. What I'm going to do, going to get the guest out and then get them out. I mean, they're not in. I'm going to bring on the guest. Jesus Christ. And we are going to get going. So please welcome the brilliant comedian. It's Katheryn Mather. Katheryn, how are you?
I am so well.
How good are I at
Ash.
doing
Oh, I've never been
introductions? Did you see that?
Yeah, you smashed it, mate. Absolutely smashed it.
I could.
Never seen a better introduction in my life.
That's
Uh,
definitely not true.
Tell you about the best introduction I ever had to stage. Am I allowed to swear?
Oh God, yeah, please do.
Okay. So it was a man dressed Father Christmas. It was Christmas time, to his credit.
Thank
Uh,
God.
he was so drunk, and he said to the audience, "Yous all cunts." Anyway, welcome to the stage, Katheryn Mather.
Yous are
So,
all cunts. Please welcome to the stage,
uh,
Katheryn Mather. That is bold.
yeah, what am I going to do with that? Very little. I was drunk too.
And was he a comedian, or was he? Did he know what he was doing?
Oh, yeah.
And he just said,
Yes, and yes.
and how did the gig go?
Well, I was drunk. What we'd done is we'd had a Christmas party, and everyone kept joking about the late show, which
Yeah,
wasn't happening because instead of having a late show, we're having a Christmas party.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but then a lot of people turned up for the late show, and I mean, we were so drunk, like so drunk. I I cannot emphasize how drunk we were, but also we were all comedians, and this it doesn't pay well being a
No,
comedian,
no,
does it?
God, no, definitely not.
So when enough people turn up for a late show, you gotta give it to
Yeah,
them.
you've
So
absolutely got to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all I remember from that gig is that glowing introduction and then just standing there going, "These hands have served the Queen, and now look at me." Um,
Did that go into a bit, or were you just having a crisis?
no, I was just upset because I had recently done a shift waitressing in which I'd served the Queen and Prince Philip. Um,
What an amazing thing to just drop in that you served the Queen and Prince Philip. What did you serve?
yeah, and
What
a
did you
whole bunch
serve
of
them?
like
I don't want to get away from the
orange
gig, but what did you
trees.
serve them?
I honestly can't remember. Just I remember how awful the food was for us
Oh,
because it
really?
was insane. Like, because they had really lovely food. Don't remember what it was, but it's the fucking Queen. Shouldn't eat
Swan,
shit,
probably.
does she?
Swan.
Yeah, or whatever. And the chefs were really horrible. And the food that we had was like processed ham, just cut into chunks, with gherkins in water and stale bread.
Fucking hell.
No
What was
butter.
this? What was that? Are you in a gulag?
Mm. Yeah, it was like no know your place should have been what that
Yeah.
means called.
Chunks of wet meat and pickle.
Uh-huh.
That's not food. That's a
Yeah, and
punishment.
then we had like mums. working on shift. Yeah, yeah. Muslims working on shift, and they were like, "Well, I obviously can't eat this because it's a hammet. Have you got a vegetarian option?" And they just went, "Nah."
Fucking
Uh,
hell.
and then they tried to not pay me for the shift because they said that I wasn't there.
The Queen tried to knock you.
No, no.
That's mad.
The catering company that I
Oh,
was
the
working
Queen
for.
was involved. The Queen was involved.
Yeah,
You're a fool if you think she wasn't. She knows what's going on.
yeah. She was
That's
like, "We don't
mad.
want to pay Northerners."
Yeah, that's true. They probably thought they were serving you a banquet with the old wet meat.
Yeah.
She's from the north. Give us
Mm.
some wet meat. But I've never performed like
Never seen food of the likes.
properly. In Edinburgh, I might have done like 2 o'clock in the morning, but I don't think I've ever performed properly pissed. So
Mm.
yeah, I don't know how to
Don't.
cope. Yeah, I think I'd have anxiety at the best of times, so I don't know about doing it when I'm. It'd be nice if it was like free form, if you were just mucking around, or you weren't doing like your show. If you were doing like some sort of muck around thing, but I honestly don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it trying to do a set. Is there a
No.
drunk comedy night? I mean,
Oh,
that'd be
so
fab.
many.
Is there really? Is that a thing? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
Mhm.
I thought,
But I think part of the charm is you're pissed.
yeah, but then it's weird,
It's
isn't it?
cheeky.
Because also, it seems like a weird thing to be encouraging now. Like, you know what I mean? In this day and age, to be like, let's do the Coke comedy night, or like a
Coked
massive
up comedy.
Coked up. Oh, hang on a minute, it's got a title. What about like
I've been
gambling and all these things that are like literally like all these vices? You could have like one for like sex addicts where they've got to be masturbating or something. You got
yeah.
coked up comedy. Well, that's trademark you, obviously. Drunk comedy. I can't think of any other
I've been to
vices.
enough nights that you could feasibly say this is coked
Coked
up
up comedy.
comedy.
Yeah, I did some support for a guy who his audience, like he hates his. I won't name him, but he hates his own audience. This guy, and he said like when I finish, I'm walking down the middle of the aisle, out the doors, and I'm gone. So I'll say goodbye now. And I was like, oh, why? He went because they're off their nuts on coke, and I don't want to speak to any of them. That is it.
I'm going to ask you afterwards for
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
name, but I think I've got an idea
Yeah,
of
I
who that
reckon.
might be.
I reckon you'd be bang on the money if you're there. So just have a quick look at the chat to see who's over there. We got Rubber Cat says, "Is this where we type random things to make it look like you had a stroke?" That could be what's going on. To be fair, like it might not be me that's terrible at reading. It might be that they're trying to dick me over. Sam the King
I mean, I
says,
can't read
"No,
it.
that's not
It's
going to
too
be easy.
small on my screen.
I've made it very difficult for you to see that. I can only apologise. Really Minty says afterwards we were beaten to sleep and we were grateful. So that's the kind of thing. He says afterwards we were beaten to sleep and we were grateful. He might be talking about the Queen. That's the thing. It could be he's talking about the shift at the Queen, but I don't know. So now, because I've left it too long to read the chat, they're talking about things that we might have been speaking about 10 minutes ago. And this is where I need to improve as a streamer. It could be anything. Cokes Up
Genius.
Comedy, aka Friday Night Up the Creek, says Sam the King. I would not say that, Sam the King, because they are my paymasters, and I would not say that. Sam the King says Brodkin, with what I would call a lovely piece of knowledge from Sam there. Shouldn't know. Sam, that's good knowledge for it. Sam's an open micer, Katheryn, and for him to be that up on comedy, the backwaters of comedy, I'm impressed with him. He then says, I mean, ignore that. I did. And really Minty says it was the Queen he was talking about. I feel like Alan Partridge when I do this, by the way. Sam the King says, can you let Katheryn know I love her pod, please? So there you go.
Oh, thank you, Sam.
Don't
I
encourage him.
appreciate it.
No, Katheryn, don't. Honestly, don't
Fuck
encourage
off,
him.
Sam.
Yeah.
You're an absolute cunt.
Yes!
Is that what you want, Ash?
That's what we want for
okay,
Sam. That's what Sam needs.
Right, okay.
He does need that. He needs putting in his place. He needs putting in his place. He says perfect. Although I sometimes worry if we're too mean to Sam that I sometimes worry that it might be his thing. if you know what I mean. So
Okay.
that does confuse me and worry me slightly. Just for the people who are watching, I want you to get involved, right? The more you can write in the chat, the more you can interact, the better I think it is. We're going to be literally making up films. Katheryn is going to tell us about what might be the future blockbusters. These might be absolutely mega films from the past. Who knows what's going to come up? Sometimes the title just sort of screams at you what it's going to be, Katheryn, and sometimes it's fucking weird. So the first time I ever did this, I did it on stage, and the first one I got was Arse Blood. That was the first film title that come out. It was the Arse from Kick Ass and the blood from First Blood, and that's when I knew that this was a concept that I could work with. So let's do it.
Sounds amazing. I hope we get our split.
I hope we get Arse Blood, and I mean that in terms of both the show and in the titles. If it goes so well that you've got blood coming out
Yeah.
your ass, you know you've had a good time. Is that a thing? That sounded
Nice
weird.
bit of PR bleed.
10 messages were deleted by the moderator, which means I presume Sam has had 10 things deleted. Ash Flax McNulty says, hope that gets you over the line, Sam. Oh, yeah. So banning Sam, I think, might be his thing as well. Arse Blood, more a symptom than a film. Yeah, that's true. Right, Katheryn, are you ready to see your first film title?
Oh, I can't wait.
Well,
Let's...
here we go. So let's see what your first title is. 48 Mission. So that could be 48 from 48 Hours, Mission from Mission Impossible. Mission comes up quite a lot, actually. We've had quite a few Mission films in the past. Does anything spring to mind straight away for you?
It's going to be a fucking long film, isn't it? So we've got to do 48 missions.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be like The Irishman.
It's a weird thing. You got like Mission Impossible, where it's like it's almost like one final mission. With this one, there are 48 missions that they've got to achieve.
Oh, you froze a bit there, Ash.
We froze at the key moment. That's fine. You're back, I think.
We're back.
We're back.
So 48 missions, 8 hours. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
For everyone involved. Why is there no intermission in films anymore? That annoys me.
You're too young to remember
I need
intermissions.
a wee break.
You're too young to remember intermissions in films, aren't you? Have you ever been to a film that had an intermission?
No, to be fair. But I did have a video cassette of The Diary of Anne Frank, which had an intermission in it. And I was like, this is such a good idea. And you would need it 48 missions.
Yeah, so is this going to be a long film? They are going to complete 48. What kind of missions are they going to be completing?
God, I don't know, because my first thought was like, so obviously, Mission Impossible. But I think that it would be better if they were really shit missions.
Yeah?
You know, like finding the right light bulb for...
What, bayonet fixing, screw fitting?
Yeah, and then you've got to go back because you got the wrong one. And then they will fund at you and you're like, but I've not used it. And they're like, but where's the receipt? And I'm like, well, there's an email receipt. And they're like, well, where is it? And I'm like, I don't know. And then that's mission 1.
Just literally some DIY tasks. So that's it. Because you don't see any of that with Mission Impossible. Like, you see them there ready to do the mission. You don't get to see any of the setting up the office, the charging of the laptops. That's all got to happen, isn't it? That's all got to take place at some point.
It has, you know, like when you're watching a film and they don't stop to put a condom on, and you're like, what's your birth control status, love?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What's the one where they
managed to...
Sorry, carry on.
How have you managed to slip a dick into somebody with no lube? Be one of the missions.
Yeah, what, putting on a condom or trying to fit a dry penis into an arid hole.
Yeah, both. 2 missions. There we go.
We
So we've
can't.
just got
we-
45 missions to think of.
Okay, well, we've got all night. Let's do it. So what kind of film is this, Katheryn? What is happening? Like, why? How did this get made into a film? Is it a comedy?
Well, clearly the person. No, no, it's deeply serious.
Yeah.
Clearly, the person who wrote it has a parent who works in the film industry.
Oh, it's
And
one of
you know, it's one of those
them.
shit films.
This is like
You're like,
what's
how did this get made?
what's Tom Hanks's weird son called? Have you ever seen him? It's like Chad Hanks or something.
That
Oh, it broke. It broke up, Katheryn. It broke up. Say that again.
it did. I just said, "Are you back?"
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. What is Tom Hanks's weird son called? Do you remember him? Is it Chad or something? Have you ever...
Colin.
No, there's another one. There's a weird one. It's got Colin, who's an actor that's like Tom Hanks, and then he's got this one that looks like Logan Paul. People will know.
Oh, I don't know about that
Other
one.
people have said Colin Hanks. Now there's another one. I'm sure there's another one. No, it's not Frank Hanks, Anatomical Bob. He has got this son that is called like Chad that is completely weird. He
Yeah.
wears like vests. And it feels like this is the kind of film that he might have got made where Tom Hanks was like, look, we've got to give Chad some work to do. Chet. His name is Chet.
Chet, of course, it's fucking Chet.
Chet Hanks. How could Chet's not a name, is it? But this feels like this might be a Chet Hanks production, like where Tom Hanks is like, we've got to give Chet something to do, so they've funded his 48 missions film. Oh, my blinds. So
But all he could, the only imagination he can stretch to is shit that he does
yeah,
in his day-to-day life.
I can imagine that being because what's his life really? You know, I imagine he lives in LA. He's completely funded by his dad. He's got no real outside understanding of the world. I shouldn't imagine. Give me some more missions. Give me some more. So there's putting on there's trying to force a dry condom into an arid hole. There was the light bulb one. What was the third one? Trying to put on a condom.
Yeah.
Have you got any more missions?
So then I guess trying to keep blueberries alive in this heat without the birds getting to him.
And what on the vine? Is it a vine? A blueberry vine?
There's a little bush, a little tree, not a tree.
Yeah,
You know,
a blueberry tree.
a bush,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, you know, it's a little.
Well, cherries grow on trees.
Well, mine never got that far, but I had a harvest of 7 and they all fell off
Oh,
before
really?
I could get to them and the birds ate them.
I don't think that's a harvest then. I think you had 7 blueberries that you didn't harvest is what you've had there.
A lost harvest. I don't know.
I mean, if that was the film title, we'd be banging. Honestly, The Lost Harvest sounds like the kind of film I've seen. One of those long.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That.
Trying to clean a car.
I'm
trying to retile the bathroom.
I'm just going to let you keep going with missions for this film.
Oh no.
What's the okay, so give me a tagline for the film then. What are they how are they getting people in to see this film? Because like everyone knows this Chet Hanks production is shit, right? What is pulling them in? What's the tagline? What is like
the tagline? Those socks won't darn themselves.
Yeah. Wonder why it's so like this has got a cinematic release. It's bizarre. Like, how is this? It just shows you the sort of institutionalized nepotism in Hollywood because there's no way this should have got a big release at the cinema. Surely,
no,
it's
absolutely
it's
not. It's like Edinburgh Festival at the moment.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I
You
didn't
know,
want to
just
say it.
people who've got too much money and not enough ability to
They're like, I'm
write
taking a month
a comedy
off
show.
because I'm going to go and do this show up
Hmm.
in, yeah. Yeah, and that's us not being bitter,
Yeah.
not being up there. But you're doing a show at the moment, aren't you? You've got shows. Have you got more to do? You did 2 at the weekend.
Yeah,
When are you
I
doing them?
did. I'm doing another one in Manchester and the Women in Comedy Festival.
Nice.
That's always a laugh.
They won't
And
book me. It's
then
weird.
maybe another one. Won't they? Sexism.
Yeah,
Sue
they
'em.
might do. Let's see what people have said. Uh, so someone said the sequel to Hitman, it's Agent 48 instead of 47. That is a reference to the computer game Hitman. I think that might be a film as well.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Oh, I
uh,
fucking love Hitman, where he just
I'm
puts on somebody else's clothes and nobody knows who I am. And you're like,
I'm so shit at it. On the one that I've got, you've got to like kill someone and get out of the building. No chance. There's a
mm,
woman with a kid, and I've just executed these like security guards, and she's just walking through. There's like it'd be a bloodbath. I'm just walking through.
yeah,
Someone says Bank Hanks was his name, or Tank Hanks. I don't think it was either of them. Um,
Tim
uh,
Hanks.
Kuminomo. Oh, could it be 48th parallel? Something happening in Slovakia. So I don't know if that's just a nonsense sentence or whether I'm missing something. Could it be 48th parallel? Something happening in Slovakia. What am I?
In the parallels in Vietnam.
I don't know. Really minty. Is Arid
So,
Hole the next film? Could be.
oh, I hope so.
Kimono says Harvest of Seven is definitely a horror film.
Mm.
And there we go. Right. Okay. So 48 Mission. It's a passion project for Chet Hanks. It is him completing 48 mundane missions throughout. How long does
Mm.
it take place over? Like, how long's he got to do these missions? Have you given any thought to that?
I'm gonna say a weekend because he's got to be back at work on Monday.
Yeah.
So the kids are out of the house for the weekend.
Is
So
there any
he's
kind of
just,
like redemption arc? Does he get
oh
anything from
Lord,
this?
no,
This is
there's no
literally.
storyline to it, Ash.
It's just like this is like I've seen my son watches so much YouTube. I've seen YouTube videos that are like this. Like literally, it'll be
Mm,
they're doing this kind of thing. Just like, oh yeah,
yeah.
today I'm jet washing the decking. Oh, are you? And then for an hour they do that, and it's got 28 million views.
Mm,
That's probably one of the missions, to be fair, for Chet. Okay,
yeah.
48 Mission. That is your first film. I'm gonna write down Chet Hanks. Chet Hanks, 48 Missions. Are you ready for your second film title?
So ready.
Boy Casino.
Oh no, this sounds paedophilic, doesn't it?
Well, I mean,
Um,
that's really up to you, Katheryn. That is literally the ball is in your court here, I'm afraid.
have you ever been to a casino,
Yeah, I
Ash?
have. I'm shit at them. Yeah.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I last time I went, I got 170 odd quid up. I went with like 30 quid. I was like, I'm prepared to lose 30 quid. And I got to 170
Yeah.
pounds up. And then I was going on holiday like 2 days later. And the person I was with said, why don't you stop now? And that's a lovely, that's a nice meal out. That's like drinks. I was like, yep,
Mm.
yep, yep. I said, you go and get a drink now and you come back and I'll stop. And when they'd come back, I'd lost all the money.
Oh
I've
no.
never gambled at the casino ever again since then.
So that's how they get you, innit?
How about you? You a big casino head? I can see you being a croupier, actually. If you've served the Queen, I can see you
Yeah.
having croupiered.
No, alas, only waitressing, not croupiering. But I don't think I could. I wouldn't trust myself in a casino because I've got quite an addictive personality. So I,
Ah.
I could see myself. I can have a bit of a go at William Hill when there's something political happening, but
Oh, what like? What
otherwise,
will you go for? What political stuff are you
you know,
gambling on?
like if there's an election
Are you betting
or
on Rishi
like
Sunak versus Liz Truss?
Oh my god, the odds on Rishi are actually very good. So if you want, yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
wasn't expecting that. I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that.
yeah.
You,
But yeah, I do, do it on the arses sometimes, but
I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know where to start. I love that you, when there's something political happening, I have a little gamble. Every 4 years, you're
well,
smashing thousands of
it's
pounds
gonna
down.
be shit.
Yeah, yeah. It might as well win
So
some money off the back of it.
did I ever tell you about when Brexit was happening? I put a bet on, and
You're quids in, didn't
oh,
you?
it would have been right. So I put a bet that we would remain because I was so sure that we would remain,
Mm.
and then I was so sure that we would remain, Ash, that I spent the money before we got the results in on going to a strip club um,
This is
in central London.
a side of you I just didn't know was there.
And then obviously devastating result.
But
um,
on the plus side,
yeah,
you're
I
in a
was
strip club.
so much down. Well, so then I remember I just sat in this strip club with no money, like minus money, while this German stripper, very lovely, massive tits, um, like, well, you never know, it might be good for the economy. And I don't think it will be. And
Was she dancing or just standing there?
just sat with us. And then she was like, well, I best get back to it. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then she went and twizzled round the pole for a bit. And she was very good at it. She's good at her job.
Obviously got sent
That's
back
off to
though,
her.
unfortunately. That was the last day she was allowed to be here. They packed her off and away she went.
Yeah, I was like, I'm upset for you as well.
I honestly think
We're losing skilled workers.
it was like you were like living in like the Sun newspaper essentially at that time. It was like Brexit happened and then there were tits. It was basically you were in a live
Mm,
version of the Sun.
yeah,
What a
they're my university days.
what a time to be alive that was. I definitely think it would have softened the blow for everyone who was like a Remainer if there'd have been tits there. I honestly do. I think
Mm.
whoever it was, whatever the situation was, if everyone could have just
Yeah,
had.
it helped me through.
Yeah, but yeah. So some of us that, yeah. I don't think I could get like my story. That'd be weird if that's my story. Yeah. So we Brexit Day, I went down there celebrating down the old Spearmint Rhino. Yeah, we got.
How did you know where we went?
Was it actually Spearmint Rhino? Oh God.
Which one was it? It was something like that.
Like
Piccadilly Circus.
they're all called
Anyway.
something like that. It's like, although if you walk, I was
Yeah.
in East London the other day, and there's like every pub is one of those strip clubs where it's like on an afternoon you put a pound in a pint jar. It's called like the Lord Nelson. You can tell because all the windows are blacked out, and that
Yeah.
awful places.
It's a Rose.
We need to get back to Boy Casino, your paedophilic masterpiece. What have you got for Boy Casino?
Well, I mean, I guess it could have just been that story, but instead of being adult women,
Bugsy Malone in it.
it, it's children. But
Yeah.
I don't know that will get through certain quality controls,
Well,
and
like
rightly so.
you can have like I say, Bugsy Malone was a gangster film with children in it, so there's nothing to say they haven't remade Casino with children. Or, I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah,
You tell me. It doesn't have to be
yeah, sure.
pedos.
No, that's true. It could be like sort of James Bond done Bugsy Malone style.
That's true. Yeah, because Casino Royale was like that was the first ever Bond film, and then they did it properly for what's his name's first film,
Mm,
Daniel Craig.
Danny,
Oh,
Danny
Danny boy.
C.
Is that what you call him? Is it?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So they
In the
all.
business, that's what we call it.
Oh, are you in the business? I didn't realise.
Nah,
I'm
it's a
so,
fuck.
I'm so sorry. I forgot. I didn't realise you and Danny were quite so close. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy you
Yeah.
call Danny C, does he? I'm not
No.
getting that vibe off him. Um. Okay, so this is it completely children?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Give him a go.
And what are they doing? Is it like it is a gangstery type film or?
Yeah, it's just an absolute scene for scene remake of Casino Royale,
Oh yeah,
but instead of alcohol, it's Ribena,
yeah, yeah.
and instead of sex,
The dry
all the
fucking.
violence still stands. Yeah.
Yeah, but like in Bugsy Malone, they've got splurge guns, haven't they? Where they fire like custard and
Mm.
food at each other and stuff. I wonder if there's that kind of thing going on in Bond, Kid Bond. So
So I
okay,
think I'd find it.
too
So I
sexy.
think I'd find it a bit more
Oh, sorry.
satisfying to see a child just shooting someone in the head with bullets.
Is there ever all against that? Like, I know it seems obvious, but you're allowed to watch people kill people in films. So, are you
Mm.
allowed to? Are children allowed? Because they're acting. Are children allowed to massacre children in a film? Would there be something against? There'd be outcry, but I think it would benefit the film. I
Mm.
think people would be like into it. It would like it'd sell tickets, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that's another thing. I don't know if this is still the case, but I know that you weren't allowed to kill children in a video game. Uh,
Really?
Not that I've ever. Yeah, um, for whatever reason, like if you sort of Skyrim or whatever, Fable.
Skyrim, and is that
Uh,
that's not
no,
one of your
yeah,
terms to be a little club, is
yeah, one of my blues. Um, but
So you
yeah,
can't
you
kill a kid
can't
in
kill. So
Skyrim.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if that's an Yeah, I don't know if that's still a thing.
Well, I don't know. You must be able to kill
Uh,
kids in films. Maybe you're not allowed to. Does anyone know that you're allowed to kill? Does anyone know if you're allowed to kill kids in films? That's what I'd like to know. The game Fallout 3 prevents you from killing kids for sure.
um,
So there you go. That's a thing. I've
yeah.
never heard of anything like that, says Rubber Cat. Rubber Cat's been playing games where you can
Okay.
only kill children.
They're my kind of games. Sophie's Choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but it
true.
didn't show the child being killed, did it? It just
No,
implied
that's
that the
true.
child was killed.
That is true. The boy in the
Boy
striped
in the striped
pajamas.
pajamas.
I mean, there's a theme going.
Again,
Did you not see
he
the?
was herded into a room.
Oh, did he die at the
You
end?
didn't see
Spoiler
him.
alert.
Yeah, so it's been out for fucking ages, Ash. You've not seen it now. You're not seeing it, are
And
you?
there's no way. I cannot honestly imagine a time where I'd go, right, I've got a couple of hours to spare. What shall I watch? Oh, a Holocaust film. Uh, thank you very much from Simmons Dude has just subscribed. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. So boy can
Mm,
say so. As with all Bond films, though, they have a theme tune sung by like a star of the time or Shirley Bassey, one of the
mm.
two. Who's doing the Boy Casino theme tune?
Oh God, I mean, I don't know any artists now. Billie
No,
Eilish, she's quite young, isn't she? Oh,
she
she's
did the
already done one,
she
hasn't
did the
she?
real one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
But Shirley Bassey did a
Carver.
couple, so maybe
Just
they.
think, who's the youngest? Who's the youngest
Yeah, I don't
singer?
know. I mean, I
It's
used
like
to work on
I want to
Radio
say Justin
Essex.
Bieber.
Yeah, but he's like 30 or something now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who's that one that sang Friday, Friday, Friday?
Uh, Rebecca Black.
But she's probably about 30 now as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know any children. Yeah.
It's
This is like when I worked on Radio Essex, this was me. Every single time we played a song, I'd be like, that's a child. That's a child. And I couldn't tell any of the songs apart. And that's when you really know you're old. It's just like I listen to Radio Essex now. I've not been there like maybe 6 months, maybe a year. I'm not sure. And I listen to it and I go, these are all the same songs. And I'm sure they're not, but they all just sound like,
no.
because I'm in my 40s, they all sound exactly the same. They're all written by a
What
team of
slot
like.
did you have on Radio Essex?
Oh well, Katheryn. But we had a great slot to start with. We were Saturday afternoons. That was great.
Oh, amazing.
And there was three of us. There was me, Ross McGrain, and Matt Adlington. Both have been on this
Yeah.
show. And then Ross was offered a Sunday afternoon show. I think he was offered to start with, and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to go and do that." And so me and Matt were moved to 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Saturday and Sundays. Now, that is
So
not
they made it quite clear who they wanted.
that is not prime time. But what it did afford us
No.
was the ability to say whatever we wanted and no one ever complained. There was one time where Matt made a really off color joke. It was very rude. And we looked at each other because there's a dump, but you can dump stuff that's said. You've got time to press a button and go, right, cut that, and it just shuffle the song forward. And we looked at each other
Yeah.
and looked at the button, looked at each other, went, nah. It just went out. No one ever said anything. No one ever said anything. There were people listening. Like we could see on the radar figures there were people out there, but no one who's listening at 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. gives a fuck about what you're doing. We did a game show where it was like people phoned in to do talents over the phone. And it was stuff that you couldn't verify. So someone was like, oh, I could draw portraits of people, photorealistic portraits in 3 minutes. And then, so we played a song, come back after 3 minutes, went, are you done? He went, yep. Is it any good? Yeah, perfect. I was like, brilliant. Thank you very much. No one questioned us. It was a great time.
No.
Dreadful.
I love it. I guess you're probably what's on in the background while someone's making a call to the Samaritans, aren't you, at
There's
that
that.
time?
There's people having sex. There's people coming in from clubs. There is like the local 24-hour Tesco. People like
Yeah.
because it went all the way through to like 6 o'clock, and we were like, there are people. We want to know if people are doing the walk of shame. They've gone back with someone and then they've snuck out and they're walking back. We got a couple of them people messaging in, but yeah, it is weird. It's really weird because there are people listening, but you also know that no one gives a shit what you're doing. We played just the worst music, dreadful.
Sounds great.
It wasn't. It was good fun to do it with Matt and just talk shit, but it was a dreadful situation. Simmons Dude says, one adult ticket, please, near the front for maximum influence. So that's a ticket for Boy Casino. Beardy Viking says, Robocop 2, the kid was killed in that. So it might be possible you can get these kids killed, Katheryn.
But did you see it? Like, because there's a difference between, because any film I have seen an adult get shot in the face,
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
But like, it seems all of these ones, these children it seems to be implied that they were killed.
yeah. That's true.
Like you see like, I've never seen a film where a kid gets shot in the face.
No, and this is the first one. I mean, this is huge. Who's directing this? Do you know anything about directors? Who do you think's directing this? I don't know.
I don't know anything about directors.
Nor do I. I'm useless. For someone doing a
Weinstein. I know him.
He's a producer, I think, and
Okay.
and surely he's going to prison.
Spielberg.
Spielberg's
Yes,
doing
one.
this. He's not getting a kid shot in the face. Geek Mix World says a kid gets run over by a steamroller. So that might be Robocop 2. There's a steamrollered kid. I mean, that'd be good.
Fair enough.
If I was prepared, I could click onto a YouTube video right now and show people that. That's something I should have worked out. We could have seen kid dying in Robocop 2. Rubber Cat. I mean, technically, E.T. killed Elliot for a bit. That's true. Elliot dies.
He killed what? Sorry.
Elliot in E.T. He dies, but then he brings.
I haven't seen that film in ages.
Nah. Rebecca Black. She's just released a new video that's a bit rude. Well.
I know what I'm doing after this.
The kid in Robocop 2 wasn't killed by another kid. Yes, you do see him die.
Okay.
Maximum Overdrive is the steamroller one. There you go. This could be done. This could be made. Boy Casino.
Yeah. Amazing.
I don't like the fact it's Boy Casino though. It does seem very male oriented, doesn't it?
But maybe this next film will it'll pass the Bechdel test.
Here we go. Let's see what your third film is. They
Okay.
Sky.
They do sky.
Sometimes the title lends itself to an obvious film, and sometimes they come
Mhm.
out and they're They Sky. And that's the beauty of the draw, Katheryn. That's the problem. So,
Yeah. Maybe it could be a skiing movie made by dyslexics. Um,
so it's meant to be They
two,
Ski.
yeah, two women turn
Two
up to
women.
a ski resort on the Alps, and then they've just got to be in the sky. They don't want to be in the sky. They wanted to get pissed and just go down some slopes, but unfortunately now they're in the sky
what
because
so?
someone fucked up a mass letter.
What so? They've
Their
literally
sky.
they've booked. So oh, is it ski jumping? Because they're in the sky. That's skiing and the sky. They've gone for a sort of
No,
no.
higher up. The sky's Ash. I know what school you went to, but they teach us properly where I'm from.
But
The
aren't you
sky
in
is up and the floor is down.
when you ski jump? Are you not in the sky for the majority of the event? Not in your
How
book.
high are you? How high is the sky? That's a question for you. Put it in the
Yeah,
chat if you know.
yeah. How high is the sky? Can someone please let us know? What are you saying? Where are you saying the
Because
sky?
like
Ah,
guaranteed
hmm.
there will be yeah, well up 100%. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
certain.
yeah.
But yeah, exactly, in the air, not the sky. So because there's a difference with like if you jump, you're not in the sky, are you?
True, absolutely true. I feel like an idiot.
Like you jumping and a plane taking off are not
Different. At
comparable,
what
are they?
point is the
Like
plane
one's
in the sky? That's a good
hmm,
point. If I'm on a plane and you say, "We in the sky yet?" and I look out the window and I'm 8 foot off the ground, am I going, no?
nah.
Above roof height? Above building height? Is
Yeah,
the top of the shard in the sky?
it is a skyscraper.
Oh, so it just scrapes the bottom of the sky.
So I'd say it is because also we've got the Sky Garden,
Where's
haven't
that?
they?
What's that? What's that?
Fun to. Oh god, it's where I take everybody when they come to visit me in London because it costs £25 to go to the top of the Shard to
Right.
have a look, or it's free to go to the top of the Sky. You do still have to get tickets, so book in advance. But it's beautiful. They've got a big, like, good views, and it's not far from the Shard. It's by Bank Station or Monument, and it's just a garden, and they've got a restaurant up there and a little cafe.
Is
And
it?
you know what? They don't take the piss for pricing in the cafe because I thought they were going to claw all the money back by it being like £12 for a beer or whatever. But it's just standard pricing.
Standard London prices is still taking the piss, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like a fiver for a beer is criminal, but it could be worse.
It could be worse. So I think I've heard about that Sky Garden. I think I heard about it because someone threw themselves off of it onto a bus. So that's
I
my
mean, yeah, it sounds.
plausible. So
Yeah, yeah, it sounds.
so why are these women? So how are they getting in the sky? They've gone skiing for the weekend or the week. How the hell are they
Mhm.
getting in the sky?
It could be a horror film, couldn't it?
It could be
You
whatever you want
know,
it to be.
they've gone into their little shack, and it just makes you go in the cycle, but not uplifting, like really frightening.
Yeah. And what's their relationship? These two women.
I'm gonna say friends, but one of them, and I won't give it away which, drops out of the sky, uh, and then
I
and
love
then
that
shit
you.
gets real.
I love that you're like, I won't give it away. Which I don't know anything about either of them. Could be. What are their names? What are their names?
Amanda and Josie. Um, just they just need a nice time.
But you won't tell me
And
which
you
one
know
it
what
is.
this? No, I'm on. Steve, gotta wait to see the film. But they just want a nice time. This goddamn patriarchal society will not give any woman, and that's a nice time.
This feels like it's got a deep meaning, this film. It's like you watch it, because I'm terrible at getting meanings from films. I don't know what you're like, but I watch a film and I go, it was good or it was bad. But some people I know will watch a film and go, oh God, I can't believe that was amazing, wasn't it? Because what that represents is the right versus the left and the patriarchy. And I'm like, I didn't see any of that. Like, I didn't pick up on any of
Yeah, it's a
that.
metaphor for capitalism.
Yeah,
What?
all of that stuff. Yeah, it's like, yeah, read
I
like
thought it was just a robot on an island made of rubbish. uh,
exactly. But then, so I'm like, literally, that is a great example. I would have watched Wall-E and just enjoyed it, and I wouldn't have thought about that. Is this something like that? Has this got that meaning? Is it a thing about the patriarchy? Is it about women? Why are they fly? I don't really understand the metaphor, Katheryn.
no, me neither. It's almost as if I'm making it up as I go
No,
along.
no.
Um,
I'll put you on the spot.
yeah.
I want a metaphor.
So, it's the glass ceiling, isn't it? You know,
Oh
they're
yeah.
above the glass ceiling. They managed to get above the glass ceiling, and then
So
they
these successful women, these are successful
mm,
business women. They've broken through the glass
yeah,
ceiling, and then the man crashes. I can't remember either of their names.
yeah,
Uh,
because the man can't spell skiing properly.
yeah, he's a bastard. Um,
And that becomes the women's fault for some fucking reason.
Probably was their fault though, wasn't it? Um, Geek Meets World says a cloud's pronouns they sky. That's true. That's quite, you know,
hmm
really quite modern. Really minty. In the air, not the sky. Oh, there is a difference, isn't it? Yeah, if you've got air between you and the ground, you're in the air. That is true. When people have
hmm
to look way up to see you, you're in the sky. I don't think that. I don't think that
Yeah.
clears anything up. And the sky apparently starts where the ground stops. You don't agree with that, do you?
What? So
Yeah.
like, I'm in the sky.
Your hand is.
My hand is in the sky.
But weird thing, if you were 6 foot further out that way, or that way,
I'd be dead.
would you be in the sky? Or would you be, because it's weird,
Briefly.
you're not in the
No.
sky now, but if you just sort of took a step that way through that wall, you would be in the sky. Would you? I don't
Yeah.
even know. I don't even know.
No, I don't think 2 stories counts as
No, probably not. And I think we're better for it.
no.
Have you got any actors that you think might be good for They Sky? I'm terrible with
Right,
actors
I
as
don't
well.
know many
No, nor
actors,
do I.
so
This
I'm gonna say Natalie Portman.
lovely bit
She's
of
one.
work. Natalie Portman. Which one does
Uh,
she play? Do you remember their
um,
names?
um, Amanda. Was that one of them?
I don't know.
Was that her name? Like
Amanda.
the
Natalie
fucking
Portman has never
and
played a character called Amanda.
no. And then the other actor that I know is
I find this bit really
Anne
hard.
Hathaway,
Oh, I do like Anne Hathaway.
and she can play Josie.
Josie. Amanda and Josie. Which one of them do I think will fall to the ground? I think it's Portman.
You reckon?
Yeah, can you give me a tagline for this film?
He just wanted to ski.
That's like that thing from CBBC. Did you see that dog? The little puppet that went. They
No.
just, there was this thing that went really viral. It was like this woman on children's BBC, CBBC, and there's a little dog glove puppet thing, and it comes back from a different segment, and the puppet is there looking at the woman, and the puppet just says, "We're just men. We're just normal, innocent men." It's just it's just brilliant. It's out of nowhere, and then the woman loses it. Like he's obviously just said, he just thought to himself, "I'm gonna just do this and really fuck her up," and he does it, and she can't stop laughing. I literally, it's well worth googling. It's such a funny thing. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's just brilliant. We're just men. We're just normal, innocent men. I don't know why. Hacker is the name of the dog. There you go, Hacker the dog. Oh, again, if I had YouTube up, I could show you that. So that's They Sky. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not sure I'm watching They Sky because I think it'd make me have guilt. You know, like male guilt. I would feel watching that. I think the feeling of the film would come through, and I'd be sitting there. It'd be all women in the cinema, and I'd be sitting there going, "Oh, this is about me, isn't it?
Mhm.
This is about my people. What my people have done."
Yeah. Might have been as uncomfortable as when I watched Django and and they were like, and like, oh god, I'm so sorry. I, I wasn't there and I didn't do it and I don't endorse this, but I'm still sorry.
Were you the only white person in the cinema?
Well, it was at my mate's house, but
Oh, right,
yes.
okay. Yeah, you're the only person there. You're like, I'm sorry, guys. But that makes it worse, I think. If you were literally going, right, everyone, I just want to say I'm white and you guys are black and I'm sorry. Like, you don't reference it. Don't reference it.
No, well, I should say that they referenced it heavily, so
Oh, that was a lovely
for
evening
a
for you.
laugh.
It was a real lovely evening
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your fourth film?
Next film.
Here we go. Make it a good one. What's it going to be? Oh, 48 running. 48's cropped up again. We've never had a repeat before.
Again.
That is the thing with the randomizer.
Mm,
Anything can happen. 48
yeah.
running.
Good God. So, could this be like Eddie Izzard?
Oh yeah. An Eddie Izzard vehicle. Oh, and you've frozen. At that key moment, you froze
And we're
again.
back.
You're back. You're
Which
back.
key moment?
Oh, you said, could this be an Eddie Izzard? And then it froze.
Yeah, she does the like endurance things, right?
Yeah, like marathon, like
Um,
literally 48 marathons in a row.
back to back.
That's mad, isn't it? That is just mad.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a
And
documentary, are we talking? Or a sort of
yeah, I
a
guess it could
biopic?
be. Yeah. Again, I don't go down the avenue of it just being really long and boring. But can you imagine just watching no audio?
Oh,
It's just
really? It's like an
someone.
art film.
um, yeah, that'd be really dull. That wouldn't it? Just sitting watching someone run.
Again, how has it got commissioned? That's the thing. It's very difficult to understand how this has got through. Like someone's like, we want to make the Eddie Izzard film. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, we want
Uh-huh.
him running 48 marathons in 48 days, but we want it to be a silent movie. Like
Mhm. Black
that's
and white.
black and white silent film, and just a lot of Have you seen what's that film? Girl on the Motorcycle. Have you seen that film?
No.
It's like a 70s film, and it is a woman, obviously a girl, and she's on a motorbike in leathers. But
Mhm.
the most of the film is her just driving. It is her in like France or something on a country road, and she has some imagination moments, but she's just driving, and It's like Marianne Faithfull or something, the actor. I'm not sure, but the end of the film, spoiler alert, she starts thinking about this guy, and then she starts going faster and faster, and the vibration of the motorbike basically gives her an orgasm, and she crashes and dies.
Wow.
That was
Oh, where
my
to go?
that was my interpretation of it. I think that's what happened. Again, the chat will happily let us know, I'm sure. But I remember watching that film. There's no talking at all. It is just this woman on a
Mm.
motorcycle just driving through country lanes. And I sat and watched that. I've probably watched it 3 times, that film. It's not like a rude
Yeah.
film. It's not like it's quite a sexy film because she's quite a sexy lady, but it's not like a provocative film.
No, until the end.
Until the end, where she Geek Meets World subscribed. Thank you very much, Geek Meets World. It's because I talked about a woman having an orgasm on a motorbike. It's strange what gets people to subscribe, Katheryn. I don't know what it is, but some people need to know there's that kind of things out there. And Katheryn is frozen again at that moment.
Oh, it's frozen again, I
And
think.
you're back. You're back again. You're back again.
There we go.
Thank you, Geek Meets World. So has anyone said so? No one's given me any information about Girl on a Motorcycle. Rubbercat says sequel to 10 Speed about 48 runners. You know that movie was saw during an Ashens movie night. Oh no, I've not seen any of that. 10 Speed sounds like is that about a bike? Probably is. 48 Eddie Izzard clones running 48 marathons on the same day. I mean, that's got potential.
Wonder who would win.
That's true, isn't it?
But they all finish at the same time.
That's true.
I worked at a theatre, right? And Eddie did the same show 3 times, in the same evening. Once in English, once in French, and once in German.
Absolutely blows my mind.
Like back to back in heels. And like I watched. I mean, the English really overstaffed because everyone was like, "Yeah, no, it's right. I think I need to sit in on this one."
Yeah.
So I got to watch the English show, but you would not believe how many people went onto that website and bought a ticket where it says German,
And they didn't know it was going to
and then
be.
got told at the box office that it's in German, and picked up their ticket that says it's in German, and then heard the announcement that said Eddie Izzard German showing, and then went upstairs.
Oh, you broke up again. You broke up again,
I
Katheryn.
did.
Oh, so they went upstairs. What
I
happened when
think
they
you
went
can
upstairs?
guess the ending of that story.
And they were
You
like,
would not believe how many people sat down like, I cannot believe this is in German, and you're like, what the fuck? You
people are
fucking moron.
so stupid. People are so stupid. You know,
So
So you worked with you an usher in the theatre, or what did you do in the theatre?
Yeah, I was an usher.
One of my biggest annoyances in the world is people not being able to read a ticket. Like literally, I go to football a lot, and I've been sitting in this seat for like 15 years, and then someone will walk up and go, "Oh, I think that's my seat," and I'll go, Mate, it's definitely not your seat," and he'll go, "Yeah, no, I think it is my seat," and he's got his ticket, and I'll say, "Look, mate, it isn't. This is like the row 18 seat, blah 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 blah," and they'll go, "Oh no, yeah, no," and they're like, they see him walk off like half a mile away. Why can't people read? It couldn't be any more drilled down into where you're supposed to sit. It's like what entrance you have to go in, what row you have to go to, what block you're in, what seat number you're at. How can you get that wrong? I can't narrow it down any more. It's like giving you the exact coordinates. I don't get it. But yeah,
No, too.
it's that, and when you go out for a meal and they go like, the hamburger, the person brings it out, the hamburger, got the hamburger, anyone with the hamburger? And then they go to turn away and the person goes, "Oh, was that the hamburger?" It's like, yes, that's all you've got to do is you've ordered. Now, wait, when the person brings the thing, listen to it. Albino Crocodile just
Yeah.
subscribed. I think it's because I got angry about that. So you've worked in both those industries. Are
And
those things that
oh
get
my
you?
God, what annoys me then as well is I've been that waitress and the plates are so hot. And you're like, please just take this fucking hamburger out of my hand
It's left your skin
and
just.
floor. Yeah, I did a shift once, right? Same waitressing agency, and the plates were so hot. And usually, I actually bought a pair of heatproof gloves after this
Really?
because, yeah, like usually they would give you them, but they're like the little sort of Mickey Mouse gloves,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
white ones. I still have them. Usually they give them to you, but on this occasion they didn't give us them. They just give us like a thin napkin. Honest to God, these plates were so hot you couldn't control. You know that bit of you that can control that this is too hot, but I can hold it long enough to get it to a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
surface.
yeah, yeah.
It was so hot that you couldn't override it, you know? So people were just dropping plates of food on the floor and getting into trouble for it. And you're like, no, I'm sorry, this is evolution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Evolutionarily, my body will not let me hold this.
It sounds like one of those
The same as it won't let
experience
me put my
meals.
hand into that fire. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know, one of those experience nights, like a 40 Towers experience meal. This is like one of those. It's like, yeah, the waiting staff will occasionally just luzz a scalding hot meal at some of the guests. Do
Yeah.
you ever drop? Have you ever served anything onto someone or dropped anything onto someone?
Oh, so many times.
Good. Uh,
uh, it's usually something sloppy too.
oh my god.
You
um,
just sort of have to
yeah,
apologise.
it's gonna happen,
Mm,
isn't it? It is gonna happen.
yeah,
I have had.
yeah.
I tend to, for some reason, I'm the kind of person. I've got the frame of a man who wants wine poured on him almost every wedding I ever go to. I'm like, oh, sorry, sir. It's like, for fuck's sake. Like, every time, just oh, a bit on my shoulder or something. Um,
uh,
so 48 Running is an art film.
uh,
Eddie Izzard,
yeah.
silent. Can there be a little bit of like French subtitling? I can see that. Just like I
Hmm.
can't think of a single bit of
But
French.
none of it's got any relevance to the film though.
But that's so Eddie Izzard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Abstract, just le pomme de terre. That's all I've got.
Yeah,
Just
pamplemousse.
Pomplemousse. What does that mean?
Ooh, grapefruit.
Pomplemousse. What a beautiful word.
It
Pomplemousse.
is, isn't
Yeah, I like
it?
that. Pom-
Ooh.
Où est le pomplemousse? Do you speak French?
No, I got quite good at it. I did the French exchange when I was at school.
Oh
So we
wow.
got to go to, I was 14 and I got to go and live for a week in France with this French family. And I had the best time. And
Really?
honestly, I learnt so much French. Because I think that is, because you have to, because you're on
Mm.
a farm and no one speaks English.
I've only heard
So,
horror stories
you,
about the French foreign exchange. I've only ever heard of
mm,
people being assaulted. That is literally every person I've
oh
ever
no.
heard. But you had a lovely time. That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, it was amazing. I got really good at it, and then I tried to do it at college, and basically everyone just was doing it because then they could get in it. Like it's a free A level,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you
you
could
know.
speak French, you're done, aren't you?
Yeah, and I couldn't,
Mm.
and I was just dragging everybody back
Because you're like putting your
by
hand
being
up and going,
there, so I
sorry,
dropped it.
I can't
Yeah,
remember what.
Uwe le gars.
Yeah, well,
Um,
well, le chocolat
do you know
cher.
anything else?
Yeah, you're just constantly asking where the
Uh,
station is.
yeah, le gars. Um,
um, I my French experience, which I've told on stage is a bit of a lie, but the truth story is, I was doing my French oral exam, and
Gee.
as I went up, yeah, as I went up to the desk, the teacher obviously says the thing in English, and you repeat it back to them in French, and my teacher said to me, "Oh, Ash, I can see your penis." And I looked down, and my flies were undone, but also I had these like Mickey Mouse boxer shorts on. I was probably 15, but they had Mickey Mouse on them, and the opening of the fly was just open like this. And I looked down, I could just see my willy. Just, I just walked up to my French teacher's desk and took my knob out accidentally. But I've
Oh my god! Please tell me you repeated it back to
in
them in
the bit of
French.
stand up routine, I always said that I said I can't even think what it was, but I learned the French for it for the routine, but I didn't. I remember just wanting to literally die. That's the truth. I was like, this is the worst thing that has ever happened. Like looking down and seeing your own cock when a teacher has
Mm.
pointed it out to you. I can feel it now in my chest. That feeling.
Yeah,
I can't think
that sounds like a nightmare.
because that's the teacher I called mum as well. That makes it even more
Oh.
complicated. Like literally, that's the one teacher I was like, mum, no, and then yeah, it wasn't mum.
Mhm.
Um,
No. Oh.
I can't think of the
You
French.
froze a little bit for me
Oh, I'm sorry.
during that, but please tell me that you said, uh, "Ash, I can see your penis," back to your teacher in French.
No, but when I do it as a bit of stand up, I
Hello,
do.
Ash. Ash.
uh,
Yeah.
I learnt it. So when I did the routine, when I did that as a bit of stand up, I learnt what the French for I can see your penis is. But I can't think of it at the
Yeah.
top of my head now. Je vois votre penis.
I know ZZ is like
I,
Willy.
I think it might be je vois votre penis. Have we got any French speakers in the chat? Je vois votre penis. Ash, I can see your penis. First time chat from
Um,
Toe Beeble. Toe Beeble. Toe Beeble. The worst is if someone
mhm.
old and elderly steals your window seat. So this is the thing, Katheryn, that I don't know what that's in relation to because I've literally not looked at the chat for ages. The worst thing is if someone old and elderly steals your window seat. No idea.
You had me at someone elderly.
Yeah, it happens on
Fuck 'em.
trains sometimes. Usually they just get on the wrong train. Don't know what any of that's in relation to, and I can only apologise.
No.
Um, Right. Oh, right. Okay, here we go. They're just chancing it for a better seat. That's it. So that's what they're doing. They're coming up to your seat and they're saying, that's my seat. And then that says, happens on trains sometimes. Usually they're just on the wrong train. It might have been
Mm.
because of that. Then someone says the worst is if someone old and elderly steals your window seat. I'm sorry that's on me. That was shit chat reading, and I fully apologise to everyone. Stop
That's
making
fair.
plates
You
out
know
of
what?
love.
An old lady sat next to me on the train, and I offered to get her suitcase down when we arrived at the station, and she said, "No, I'm going to wait and see if a nice young gentleman will do it for me."
Oh my
And she'd
good
been
God.
horrible to me the whole time. And I was like, "I'm going to be a good citizen and help her because she's really frail." And I was like, "Fuck you, old lady.
She wanted
I hope
some.
you get left on here and have
Yeah.
to go back to Manchester."
Which is the worst of all punishments. Um,
Mm.
Stop making plates out of lava. Really minty says, don't know what that means. I was once served a lasagna. As the server put it down, hot cheese went on her hand, and she re- ref- reflexively flicked the cheese onto another customer. That's
Good
quite
for
good.
her.
That's quite good. Um, Toe Beeble says, my sister went on a German exchange in the 90s. She was pretty much only shown around cities destroyed by the Allies in World War II in great horrific detail. Now that's awkward. Like that's worse than your Django
I did
Untrained
find that
story.
interesting, actually.
Yeah, you just go, oh yeah, we did that. My granddad did that too.
I'm a war nerd.
How are you?
Well, I don't like it, but it happened in it, so I like learning about it.
Which one? Just like the Bosnia, Sarajevo, Croatia war, or is it specifically the World Wars?
Yeah, World War Two, very European centric.
I always
Um,
I said a thing on stage once where it was it's weird how like if you say oh my granddad fought in the war, everyone would go, oh yeah, good, but they don't know what war it was. It could be
Mm.
a modern war. That hasn't got the same thing as it. It's like my granddad fought in the war. He was in Bosnia. It's just not the same.
Yeah. He was part of the SS.
Yeah, he was on the other side. Yeah, he fought in the war. He was an absolute hero for the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
But all's forgiven now, isn't it? So let's move on. Um,
Keep it light.
keep it light. Keep it light. Are you ready for your final film of the evening?
I really am.
I wonder if 48's going to crop up again. Here we go. Identity
Swear to God.
Ultimatum.
Okay.
There we go. I dropped my pen. That'll give you time to
Oh
think about
no.
Identity Ultimatum.
See, it feels like something that these. What's the opposite of woke people? Bigots.
Yeah.
If,
Bloody men.
yeah, these people who get upset because you want to change your gender pronouns. It's like fucking leave them alone.
Yeah, what
What's
does
your
it matter
problem?
to you? What does it matter to you? Why does it bother you
Yeah.
at all? Sorry.
People who are upset that some people like just eat vegan, and you're like, well, you don't have to. It's fine.
It's like
Um,
I'm gonna say it. We're an hour and 20 in, so I've gone past the point. I am vegan, right? And the people that upsets, it's so bizarre that someone would take offence to that. Or be like, well, oh, I love a
mm,
lovely bit of steak. Oh, I love a lovely bit of steak. I said, I couldn't give a fuck, mate. Who are you complaining
yeah.
about? Like, I don't care what you do. I really don't get it. I don't understand. It's the same as like homophobes and things like that, where it's like, why do you spend so much time thinking about other people fucking? Like, what do you care?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You
Really
don't
don't
have
get
to
it.
lick a minge.
You
Don't
don't.
worry, you're fine.
You absolutely don't have to.
You-
No one does.
no.
If anyone takes one thing away from this show tonight, it's that you don't have to lick a minge. Please just let that be the one thing.
Just do it honey, to somebody who wants it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you don't
It
have to.
doesn't
It's okay.
affect you. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you.
No.
So tell me about
So I
Identity
feel like
Ultimatum.
it just seeing those two words together, it feels like a Daily Mail headline, doesn't it?
It really
You
does.
know, like identity, and it can't be attack helicopter, and everyone will be like, "Oh, it's the snowflakes that are." You're like, who's actually the fucking snowflake here, pal? You're getting upset because someone wants to eat more vegetables than you.
This is music to my ears,
So
Katheryn. Absolute music to my ears.
I'm intolerant of the intolerant. I just fuck off. And that's by the by.
That is nothing to do with this film.
um,
But yes, I do. I
no.
fully, totally, and utterly agree.
So I guess you've been given an ultimatum about what your identity is, but you don't know, and
Oh.
you've got an out. We'll give it 24 hours to find out who you are.
What, so everyone, it's like a
I think
dystopian
you'd.
type film, is it? Like everyone is suddenly given 24 hours to announce their pronouns or have a.
But I think it should be. It has because I feel like personally, it changes a lot along, just along your menstrual cycle, really as well.
As to who you are or
I feel
what
like
you
you've got a
feel.
bit more going on. Yeah, exactly. And men also have a hormonal cycle,
Tell me about it,
and they'll
mate.
be like, "Oh no, it's just women that get moody." Have
No,
you tried living with a bloke?
I have.
You're not that good.
I did. I lived with a
Mm.
bloke, and yeah, it's not easy. I wouldn't live with a bloke. I did, and I wouldn't do it again.
No.
I think my wife is mad. Like, honestly don't see what she gets out of this situation at all. I don't get it.
Mm.
Men are disgusting.
That's how I felt with every. No, that's not true.
It is true.
Um, but
So, yeah,
uh,
these people have
yeah,
got to come
maybe
up with
that's
it.
yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, you got to work
This
on it.
feels like one that could be made. Like, yeah, it's a bit like a an Orwellian um kind of 1984 type
Coming
thing.
of age film.
It's like all of a sudden the government is saying, right, everyone needs to have their identity nailed down within the next 24 hours. There'd be so
Mhm.
much stuff going on. People going, well, I might be this, I might be that. There'd be like priests and pastors just like, wanking people off and stuff just to see if that's what they were. This has got real
Yeah, who
potential.
am I?
Yeah. Who am
Mm.
I? There's the tagline straight away.
Yeah. But then I guess as well, it wouldn't just be, we're going in on it, sexuality and gender, which I think are, the first things that you think about.
They're the
But
hot
also, like,
topics.
there's other parts of your identity. Yeah. Like your job. See, like, I always still think of myself as a waitress, even though I haven't waitressed in about 3 years,
Do you?
because
You
that's
think
what I
that
did for so long.
you're like, I am a waitress. And yet you've stepped away from it. And yet that's where your heart belongs in scolding yourself.
Yeah. Um, I'm a northerner. There are some people who are like, if you were born in the north but grew up in the south, what are you? You have to decide.
Yeah, that's true. I'd never thought about that. That's true. And it's like some
Mhm.
people whose parents are one thing, like my grandparents. I come from Scottish lineage on my mum's side. It's like, should I put more into that? Should I sort of embrace my Scottish heritage?
You've
This
got
is true.
24 hours to decide.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're not allowed any of it.
I don't think I want to. I've been to Glasgow. I don't think I can. I don't think I could do it. I just don't think I can be drunk
Nah.
enough for Edinburgh or Glasgow. And I'm not talking. I'm not generalising them. It's just the times I've spent there. I don't think I could live like that. And also, Edinburgh's a nightmare in
Mm.
August, isn't it? It is just like you.
Mhm.
I don't want to be there. That's absolutely true.
No.
What have we got over here? Let me see. That sounds like a professor movie. Diom 2020 about assassins taking over other people to perform the killings. That could be that. That's
Oh.
true. That's true. Glasgow is its own
Yeah.
thing, says Rubber Cat. I think that's true. I think you've probably summed it up. Glasgow is its own
Yeah.
thing. Okay, is there anything you want to add to Identity Ultimatum? Is there anyone that you think that should be in it? Is there, you know, anything you want to add
I
before I put?
think my imagination it is as far it's done all it can.
Yeah, you've literally you've whittled it down. So I'm now going to do the poll here to see which
Okay.
is people's favourite. So what? I normally do this surreptitiously, but I haven't. Your favourite. And I'm going to write them out. Normally I'd be subtly typing this away as we went along, but I didn't do any of that. So 48 Mission
No,
was the
that's
first film,
yeah.
which was the Chet Hanks passion
Yeah.
project. Boy Casino, which was the James Bond film Casino Royale, but with children playing all of the characters. You had They
Mhm.
Sky, where Natalie Portman and Anne Hathaway wanted to go skiing, but due to an admin cock up from a bloke, they ended up being thrust into the sky. Where one of them, who will remain unnamed, fell back to Earth.
Mhm.
What else? We had 48 Running, which is an Eddie Izzard art film, black and white, no speaking whatsoever apart from maybe some French subtitles. And we had Identity. How do I spell IDNT? I can't spell Identity. Ultimatum, which is where people were given 24 hours to pin down everything about themselves. What happened to them, by the way, if they hadn't got it done? Was it
Shot in the face.
Fair play. There you go. Right. So
That fucking helps the decision,
it
doesn't it?
really,
That.
it definitely does. So this is up. We are live. The poll is going.
Which one? Which
Um,
one? Pasta or pizza? Oh, I don't know. I'll shoot you in the face. Pasta.
Pasta, please. Oh no, I keep clicking the wrong thing on here. So
Oh God!
if you are
Come on,
watching
Ash.
this, if you're watching this, go over there and vote. Get the votes in. Let's see. What is your favourite film? Katheryn, what's yours out of curiosity? What would you choose from those ones?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I was gonna say Shaun of the Dead, but
I will
that's
come.
just a genuine answer.
I should have asked you that before we
Um,
started, really. What's your favourite film?
yeah. I'd probably go for Identity Ultimatum. Actually,
I
I
quite
feel like
like
that's
that.
an interesting concept.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that it does feel like that kind of thing. It feels like the bloody Tories the way they're going. It could be what we're bloody doing in 2024 or something. I don't know. Don't really understand. Um, Ash, you need some dramatic music like Ashens has. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. I haven't got any. I could do this. That just says "oh." I can do this. That is like
Mm.
a noise. I don't know if you can even hear those, Katheryn. But and I've got this heartbeat one.
No.
There's
No,
a
I can't
heartbeat.
hear
I'll
that.
do that.
Either.
I'll get some sound effects. I'm not very good at all of this Twitch nonsense. That's the difference. That's the
No.
problem. So there's not long to go on the poll. Katheryn, why don't we take this opportunity for you to tell us where people can find you? I will tweet about it afterwards, but
No.
where are you?
To plug things, well, I'm on all of the social medias
Oh
because
yes.
you can uh, Calf Mav Comedy on uh, Twitter,
Hmm.
calfmavcom on Instagram,
Just to mix it up a little
uh,
bit.
and yeah, go crazy. I do I do two podcasts as well. I've got one that I do myself, which you were on,
I was. It was great.
Ashford. Yeah, I release it every Monday. It's called 0 Hours, and I interview comedians about the jobs that they've done. Um, and then I've recently with another one, me and my friend Ada McCaffrey. It's called Historical Hot or Not, and it's about uh, historical figures and whether we'd fuck them.
Oh yes. What's it called? Historical.
Hot or not.
I like this. I didn't know you were doing that, so I'm on that.
Y-
I'm going for that. I'm watching that. I'm listening to
Yeah,
that.
it's like a light overview of historical figures, but I do the ladies to suggest to Aidan, and then Aidan
I think
brings
this
me
is
gentlemen.
genuinely a brilliant idea for a show.
I have today bought 250 condoms with our logo printed on them
Wowzers! There you go. And you're going to be.
from
This is why you were. This is why you were trying to slide condoms into the conversation early on in the show here tonight. So
uh-huh, yeah.
are you gonna be doing this live, or are you just be giving them out? Where are you gonna be giving out the condoms?
Oh, we don't know how many people are interested in listening to it yet, but I hope enough people to purchase these 250 condoms
Oh yeah,
from me.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. It's like otherwise you're gonna have 250 condoms. That's the only thing you've got.
Hmm.
I think about this like stuff I've bought for the podcast I do with Justin. We bought a load of mugs, and like all the people that were
Mm.
interested in mugs, like loads of people like do mugs, and we're like yeah, did mugs, and so we sold like those people mugs, and it's like wow, those mugs went well, and then you realise that there was a finite level of mugs selling you were going to do. So I've just got mugs. I've just got some
Mm.
mugs. You might have like just a cupboard full of condoms, and when people come around to visit, they'll just open up a cupboard and condoms are going to come out. 250 is a lot of
Yeah,
condoms as well. That's
it
a
is.
week's worth.
I know, right? It's crazy. I want to know how big a box they're gonna come in because in my mind it's fucking massive, but I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it will
No,
be. You know,
no. Yeah,
I'm gonna be
it's gonna
disappointingly
be
small in hours away.
it's gonna be a small
Yeah.
box. I don't think. 'Cause I think I mean I don't really know how many condoms come in a box. but I like a box
It's
of
usually
comics.
about 12, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's a box about that size, isn't it? So
Mhm.
yeah, I think you're
And
gonna.
I'll let you know. I'll take a picture
Oh
when they
yes,
come.
please. And so that's where they can find you. So the poll results are in, and you are gonna be blown away by if I can get the computer to work. The results are in.
Mhm.
How I find those results again now, who knows? I'm not very good at this. Is the problem? Poll results. Manage poll. View results. Here we go. So Identity Ultimatum won with 57% of the votes. And then Boy
Amazing.
Casino, They Sky and 48 Running all drew. So Identity Ultimatum, your film there, ultimately you were right. That's the one you wanted and that's the one that made it. So I think that was the right
Amazing.
choice.
Let's get the budget together. Let's get it made.
Let's get it fucking made. Katheryn,
Yeah.
anything else you want to plug while you're here? So that is Historical Hot or Not and the 0 Hours podcast. Both brilliant. I've not seen
Mhm.
Historical Hot or Not, but I know it would be brilliant. 0 Hours is very funny. I very much enjoy being on that. I will post stuff about both of those. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Uh,
You're doing your show in Manchester.
No, I am in October. It's called Scream Inside Your Heart.
So
Uh,
very good poster. I've
Beyond
seen.
that, I'll just be knocking about, I guess.
Yes. Okay. Lovely stuff. Well, thank you very much for being there.
Mm. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you to everyone who's been watching. Thank you for the subscribers. I should name them now. Albino Crocodile, thank you very much. Geek Mix World, thank you very much. Simmons Dude, thank you very much. Very greatly appreciated. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with Richard Sandling. Very much looking forward to Richard coming on. There we go. That should be a good one. Richard is the man who got me into stand-up comedy, so that should be fun. But for now, that's another I'd watch that. And I think I would watch Identity Ultimatum. So I think you've achieved
Mm.
the prerogative of the show. Thank you very much, Katheryn.
Thank you, Ash Frith.